was a test of skill and memory. I poured countless hours into mastering every nuance of its gameplay. I memorized the totally blew everyone away with the kind of grand gameplay it delivered. Contra 3 elevated the classic Contra in Japan and totally blew everyone away with the kind of grand gameplay it delivered. Contra 3 elevated the classic Contra formula to new heights on the Super NES, maintaining the series' signature side-scrolling run-and-gun action while introducing enhanced gameplay features. Players return as Commandos Bill Reiser and Lance Bean, tasked with thwarting an alien at Transi, a warrior with exceptional skill in guerrilla tactics. Brad Fang, a cyborg werewolf, choose from 4 different characters, adding a Alien Wars. Formed in response to the rising crime is a group of 4
I remember this. So it's just a mix of every game in the
military
whole...
personnel collectively named the Hardcore. This special mobile task force consists of Ray Powered, was appointed to lead the game active, which did not meet the expectations set by the Contra franchise on the PlayStation.
This looks
1.
lame.
Konami took a pivotal step. They entrusted the development of the next Contra game to their in-house team, Konami Computer Entertainment Tokyo. Nobuya Bill Rise best
This
bits
looks
from
lame
Contra
as hell.
3. And you'll miss it isometric action in PS2's Neo Contra. None of these alterations have enhanced the core Contra gameplay. This time around, Contra 4's developers have opted for unadulterated mimicry over innovation, drawing heavily from 1992's brilliant Super NES installment, Contra 3: The Alien Wars, as the main inspiration. Contra 4 resonates with the aura of a long-lost tough. Best of all, they're the key to unlocking a treasure trove of content categories. The Rebirth series on the Wii refers to a set of video games that were part of Capcom's initiative to lead the charge. In fact, Konami totally took things towards a different direction. The game was developed by Arc System Works, who are champion in developing amazing 2D games with anime style like Guilty Gear and BlazBlue. They are also known for their license-based fighting games such as Dragon Ball FighterZ, Persona 4 Arena, Tiberius. Abilities to suit your playstyle. Want to focus?
This looks interesting. What about the Operation Galuga?
Like returning to a beloved amusement park as an adult, Contra Operation Galuga instantly reconnected me with the 2D run
Galuga? I thought it was Galuga.
gunners from the quarter-slinging arcade days.
Okay, Galuga sounds good than
Of my
Galuga.
youth.
You know?
And just like revisiting a childhood fancy, I quickly remembered why I had so much fun with this series, while also
This kind of reminds me of this area. This legit reminds me of Prince of Persia.
childhood fancy, I quickly
If you guys
remembered
ever
why I
played
had
that
so
game.
much fun with this series, while also feeling
Especially the spike wall. This is
underwhelmed
just
by
Prince
how
of
little
Persia right
things have
there.
evolved in all that time. This reimagining of the original Contra offers a perfectly
It's so
adequate
beautiful. Like, look at this waterfall shit.
modernization of a bona
It's so good.
fide
It looks
classic
good.
that makes for an enjoyable jaunt along
I would take this graphics any day
alongside
over
your
Unreal
friends,
Engine 5.
but it's also perhaps overly faithful to its predecessors,
Maybe it's
allowing
made
for
on Unreal
only
Engine
the
5, who
slightest
knows?
tweaks. I don't regret the handful of hours it took me and my buds to get through all of Operation Galuga, but it's one of those games that's likely to fade from my memory just as quickly.
Who cares? It's a fun time. You know, this is a kind of game you just go up with your friends in the weekend and then they just leave. And then you just have a remembrance of the weekend. That's pretty much it. You know? You don't play this game forever. Such a short and sweet game, you know, for me at least.
This side-scroller plays it safe with the reliable, if not particularly exciting, formula of fighting through stages filled with enemies before taking on a boss. Despite being framed as a sequel to the original Contra, Operation Galuga is a lot closer to a remake. It features these same macho dude bro protagonists on the same island, going through many of the same stages in the same order. You and a friend will blast
This is the exact game I played before, dude. This is exactly
through
the
many of the
same
same
game.
stages in the same order. You and a friend will blast your way through familiar levels like
The funniest part is, this game is way harder than this.
in the same order. You and a friend will blast your way through familiar levels like this waterfall stage with a giant alien at the end, this icy train ride,
I don't
and
remember
even this
this.
part where you end up inside a massive alien's body to do battle against the big guy's gross parasites,
I remember
just
this.
like in the original Contra from 1987. That said,
But in original Contra, there is a surprise in the
Operation
new
Galuga
one.
sets
You
itself
gotta play that.
apart with some substantial additions, including fully voiced characters, complete with cutscenes,
You're kidding. Gen 10 is the strongest unit in the Federation Army.
new playable characters with their own abilities and playstyles, and most notably, new 2D stages to replace the less interesting pseudo 3D shooting gallery levels from the original. All of these things do help to refresh
didn't
an
mind that at
experience
all.
that plays
It was
things
kind of fun.
extremely close to its roots in almost every other sense. Operation Galuga doesn't always succeed with the new stuff it tries, however, and nowhere is that more true than its story. I certainly appreciate
It looks like she's from Fortnite. Look at this.
however, and nowhere is that more true than its story. I certainly appreciate the extra context for why our heroes are doing the things they do, but with stilted writing, one-dimensional characters, and lengthy dialogue sequences where meaningful developments arrive sluggishly, this added story mostly detracts from an otherwise fast-paced sprint through hellish battlefields.
Locate Red Falcon's lieutenant for questioning.
For example, I probably didn't need to hear extensive monologues about the Lemurus, the story's doomsday MacGuffin, to grok that we need to kill the bad guy who wants to use it to wipe out humanity.
Your leaders will fall, your women will mourn, your children will weep.
And I definitely didn't need to stop in the middle of a level to listen to said baddie tell me that I've been tearing through his unstoppable forces. I know that already, Mr. Evil Alien, sir. Could you maybe deliver this lame smack talk while I resume shooting your friends?
And who are you? 2 soldiers? To stand against my unstoppable forces?
Both the classic levels and the completely new stages at least make for some solid old-school action. I always really liked the creepy journey through the inside of a living organism from Contra, so experiencing that in all its gross glory with upgraded graphics and mechanics was a lot of fun. And this completely new level that put my team on hovering motorbikes, then sent gangs of similarly octane-powered goons after us, mixed things up just enough to keep us on our toes. But whether it's a reimagined legacy level or something wholly fresh, you're still basically always doing the same stuff these games have been doing for many years, dodging enemies while filling up the screen with colorful projectiles of our own as you run, jump, and dash your way to the end. There's certainly nothing wrong with sticking to the basics, but it's also one of those rides where you can more or less tell exactly how things are going to go just by looking at the title screen, and that doesn't make for an especially exciting time. I enjoy retro arcadey run and guns as much as the next boomer, but it would have been nice to find more surprises or evolutionary changes here, because it's not like this genre couldn't benefit from them.
Nah, I don't think you have to. If it ain't broke, why should you fix it? Like, if people, the most of the new remakes gets fucked up because of people trying to fix the game, you know?
Operation
Just make the game 1-to-1 in the better graphics and it should be fine. You know?
Galuga keeps the vast majority of the Contra gameplay recipe intact.
Like, this game, for me personally, they did introduce many other extra mechanics and it's fine. The game basically plays exactly how the Contra plays to. It gives you that nostalgia
Which means longtime
feeling,
fans
you know?
are unlikely
This weapon doesn't even exist in the freaking what do you call it? In Contra,
Blown
original.
away by anything
At all.
besides the bullets enemies send your way.
Good best weapon in the game, by the
You'll
way.
use an almost identical arsenal from the previous games, from the laser to the homing gun, fight the customary aliens and human commandos, and take on giant bosses who really don't
This guy is
like
such a
being shot in
cool
the
fight.
eyeball. There are a couple minor tweaks here and there that just barely break the mold though, like how the new characters can do things like hover for a short period, shoot a grapple hook, and
Who cares? He's complaining about there is nothing in you. Shut the fuck up. This is the only Contra that's actually worth playing,
zip
the new
over to
one.
distant
Among
surfaces,
them.
or slide under
Yeah.
incoming fire and into enemies for damage, all of which provide a minor hiccup of fresh air. Many design elements from developer WayForward's previous Contra game, Contra 4, have been incorporated here as well. This includes the two-weapon system that allows you to keep a backup firearm stowed away so you can switch things up depending on what you're facing. For instance, I like to use a machine gun for straight DPS, but kept a spread gun or flamethrower handy for crowd-controlling waves of chump minions. As an added twist, you can now upgrade your guns by picking up a second copy of something you're already carrying, which buffs that weapon until you
And
get
then it
hit,
makes
at
the
which
weapon
point you're
better.
demoted back to the basic version. And if you're feeling frisky, you also have the ability to overload weapons, sacrificing them in exchange
Hey, you can 4-player this shit?
for a temporary
Damn.
benefit, like becoming invincible for a while
That
or
is
emitting a
so
shockwave
busted.
of bullets in every direction.
You can 4-player this shit, dude. That's so cool.
It's usually not worth losing a cherished weapon
Just some of the videos, the people who collab play this game. It's totally worth
for
your
such a
time.
short-term effect if you can avoid it, but it's definitely a
It's such a short game. Usually you don't collab for a long time, right? Just to get this game and collab with some
nice
people.
option to keep in your back pocket
It's not
if
that
you find
that
yourself in a
difficult.
pickle, especially since by default, dying causes you to lose your held weapons anyway. The arcade and challenge modes from Contra 4 also make a return. The former, which enables 4-player co-op and dares you to get as far as you can with a set number of lives, while the latter tests you with special limitations, like trying to get through a level without firing a weapon. There's definitely some novelty in the challenge and chaos of marathoning each stage with a larger group, though that can get thin fairly quickly since you're running through the same 8 levels as the regular campaign. Similarly, there's some minor fun to be had in tackling the trials that await in challenge mode. But unless you've got a serious appetite for replaying each stage with some cheeky conditions, that too runs dry pretty fast.
Yeah, I don't think this game has much of a what do you call it? Replayability.
Contra Operation
But it's still a fun game.
Galuga met my expectations as a marginally modernized run-and-gun arcade game, but it almost never exceeded them. All 8 levels do a solid job of playing to my Contra nostalgia, and small tweaks to combat, like the weapon upgrade and overload systems, add a couple of much-needed wrinkles to its otherwise extremely faithful formula. But with only a few hours worth of things to do and very few surprises to be found, the roller coaster comes to a halt too quickly and doesn't have many
Ah, boo-hoo, 6
drops
and get
or
the
loop
fuck out of
de-loops
here.
to enjoy
I would
along the
probably
way.
give it even
For
more.
more fast-paced action, check out our reviews of
At least an
Helldivers
8.
2
Compared to the other dog shit
or
Contra
Splatoon
that came
3's
out, this
Side
is
Order
way
DLC.
better.
And for everything else, reviews of Helldivers 2 or Splatoon 3's Side Order DLC. And for everything else, stick
You know,
with
download this shit. This is the good Contra in the whole in the remakes. You know? But I would wait for a sale though. Like it is kind of too expensive. If it's below 1,000, maybe you ought to buy. Like, no, I don't think it's like 500. Maybe you can buy it. Like $5 or $10. Maybe it's worth your time. But higher than that, you're kind of spending too much on it.
IGN.
Yeah, the game is too short. You can't ask like full game price for that. You know. such a good remake. So it is from the original Contra. Yeah, they literally freaking remade the second game, dude. No wonder it felt familiar. That thing comes fast. That attack. Oh, that is such a glow up for this fucker. Look at this guy. Look how he looks here and then look here. Such a glow up. So I think this is from yeah, this is from 3. 3 or 4, I think. Yeah, that's also from 3. Oh, so that's that monster. Good time. I see. So that's like level 3. This kind of reminds me of, this is where I remember this from. This reminds me of from the game Couplet. The devil kind of plays you like this. I think this game is good. I mean, it's harder. I can tell you that. It's freaking hard. There is so much shit that's going on in your screen. But I think it's a really good... it's a very short game, but it's a really good, what do you call it? Remake. You know, very faithful remake. Yeah, you're just literally fighting a fucking brain there. I think it's a good game. Like, it just literally it reminds you of the Wonder games you played. It's good.